Joining me now, Adam Head, CEO of CARTI. Adam, good to have you with us. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Roby. Appreciate you having me.
You guys are growing again strategically at CARTI. I want to talk, before we talk specifics about El Dorado, I want to talk just a little bit more generally about this game plan that you guys have been executing for the last several years of
Yeah,
strategically expanding your footprint. Kind of tell me what's been at the root of this strategy.
sure. I got to join the CARTI team a little over 8 years ago in 2017. And at that time, if you were looking at the CARTI map, we probably functioned more like a lot of large healthcare systems do today, mostly hospital-based systems, where you've got a main kind of operating center where that's where you've got the most resources, the most services. And then we had a number of different clinics around the state, and we were still meeting patients there and serving them. But I know as I got to the end of my first years, we started kind of looking at what could be next, what's on the horizon for CARTI. This is in 2018. We saw that there was a pretty big disparity in just the number of services, the atmosphere, all of it that we were offering in different parts of the state, mostly where we had existing clinics versus the larger cancer center footprint in Little Rock. And so that really caused us to think bigger. And when we thought about our desire to meet patients where they are in a um, more practical way, we knew we had to set up community cancer centers right where patients live. And so it's been a significant investment, and we've opened up essentially one per year the last several years. But we've seen a really great response from patients in being able to get to them earlier, than being able to go to those places, not have to go to Little Rock. And for cancer, it's really been important.
Well, I want to speak to that because honestly, I mean, if you'd told me 8 years ago that's the strategy you're embarking on, I'd say you're
Yeah.
gambling because it was, the business model, as you
Hmm.
indicated, is, keep your costs low outside of the main campus, drive people to the main
Yeah.
campus, and this is where you will succeed. I mean, it's obviously working, but that wasn't a business model that was working before. So, I mean, kind of walk me through that philosophy and I guess you probably feel vindicated now, but I mean, were you nervous going through that process too?
What I was just describing earlier is a traditional hub and spoke, model of care. Yes, there are sites, but ultimately it's that draw. And um, you know, there's a there's a very real patient-centered element that was really the driving force, I should say, behind this. I mean, I have liked to be out and about and visiting our patients and our team at our different facilities, and patients would tell me directly. They'd say, it feels like a different experience that we can have when we are here versus we, have to maybe drive to Little Rock for a particular scan or something. I would say that was the biggest driving force for there not to be a disparity, but to create more of a place where that can be a patient's cancer center in their community. From just a model standpoint, it started with one in Conway in 2018. And when we looked at how we want to define it, if we could offer multiple services in one location where a patient could access it all, it lowered stress in the patient journey. We ended up having now multiple providers taking care of a patient, all working seamlessly on behalf. So now we had greater coordination of care. It was on site, so we got a chance to screen more patients, more of them were coming in. And ultimately, we saw that we were taking care of more people than ever before because a lot of people won't make the drive. So it just built. Once we did one, I mean, it immediately took off, and then we did another in Russellville, and then we moved to North Little Rock, and then to South Arkansas with El Dorado Phase One in Pine Bluff, and now in Heber Springs. And every time we've done it, we've been encouraged at the patient response.
Let's talk about El Dorado specifically. You now
Yeah.
are entering phase 2 with El Dorado. Now, kind of what is going to be offered that's different than what was previously being offered, and just kind of how does this play out again into this rural health investment?
Yeah. So in 2021, we moved from a clinic that we'd been in since around the year 2000 and taking care of oncology patients. And we were still at that time offering lab services, chemotherapy, oncology visits, and we're essentially the main oncology provider in El Dorado. When we moved phase one into this very large building in the heart of El Dorado, we knew we couldn't do everything at once. We had put forward an investment at that time of several $1 millions to outfit the building with a greater chemotherapy area, immunotherapy, oncology space, a licensed pharmacy, some imaging. But we knew we wanted to create even more of an environment, especially being, 2+ hours away from Little Rock and really trying to alleviate that need to drive it all. And so we went to the state legislature when there were still some ARPA funds available in December of 23 and asked for $7 million for the state legislature to be able to finish it out. And now we've been able to add radiation oncology, which is a key aspect of a cancer journey, and also a full diagnostic breast center. Both of those are the most leading edge technology that's available in those particular lines, and add more clinic space and more providers. So ultimately, there's very few reasons why a patient would need to leave their community now.
You are also offering some other services that are not necessarily cancer directly related. Like I think you guys have now offer some urology
hmm
services through some of your clinics and the satellite campuses as well. Kind of explain to me how that ties into cancer treatment.
First of all, over the years, as patients have come to us and said, "Hey, do you offer this? Can I see a CARTI provider for this?" Th- That's that's what uh, that's what we lead with. Hey, our patients are desiring us to look at this. We're a nonprofit organization. We're mission focused. Our mission is to make trusted cancer care accessible and short. And urology was one of those. It is not cancer in and of itself, or people may not immediately think of cancer when they think of urology, but it certainly bumps up against cancer quite often. Prostate cancer is one of the big four cancers in our state, just like breast cancer, and it's why we have breast centers in several locations. So, prostate cancer, kidney cancer, bladder cancer, that has been a really fast growing element of CARTI, and patients are continuing to ask. So we're trying to open it up in as many locations across the state as we can.
All right, what's next for CARTI, not just in El Dorado, but perhaps across Arkansas?
We have been really encouraged by this model that I've been referring to in decentralizing, really kind of opposite of a hub and spoke, making that care available on site. And we have seen that there's an opportunity to do more. Specifically, we got encouragement earlier this year with a major healthcare publication that said that the number of cancer diagnoses in the state of Arkansas has gone up percentage wise in the last 5 years more than any other state in all 50 states. And this isn't a southern trend. The other states underneath there, Oregon, Massachusetts, Delaware, Arizona, they're not even directly connected to usual, kind of health related things we think of. But as we looked at that, nearly 20,000 Arkansans that are supposed to be diagnosed this year, we've seen that the mortality rate is staying the same over the last 5 years. That has encouraged us that maybe there's something really interesting, even transformative, that could be happening in our state with making care more accessible. Our next thing we think should be continuing to further this, but even make more of a generational impact. And we do have some big things in mind. I hope to be able to tell you about it very soon. But we want to continue to do more for patients and meet them where they are.
All right. I'm not sure what soon is, but I'm sure that it won't be soon enough for me, and it'll be too soon for you to share it with me. But keep us posted. All right.
Thanks so much, Roby. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.